Welcome Aquarius to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 8th of July for the Ascendant, the Sun or the Moon. There are some really contrasting energies playing out in your situation this week. In a lighter way, the connection between Jupiter in a very generous and very demonstrative part of your scope to Mercury, the planet of communication in your sector of relating, could see some kind of delightful conversation, perhaps even a little bit of a flirty one. But if you are sharing something that's important to you, a creative project, you can certainly articulate it really well. But also, in a more practical context, Saturn, your traditional ruler, just been pushing you over the last 15 months to work on resources, to work on your sense of self-worth, bit by bit, refining things, and perhaps in some ways focusing on what's really essential and not spreading yourself or your point of interest too wide. It's really been about what's at the heart of your situation. And it may not have been easy, but the link between Saturn and the Sun this week in the 6th house, which is very much about details, refinement, can be about health, fitness and diet, but also work. So just the lessons you've learnt with Saturn over the last year and a quarter, you can really start to measure them and see how far you've come, which could be very valuable to you. But Venus joins Mercury in the very glamorous sign of Leo on Thursday. And you know, having Mercury and Venus in the 7th house can be very constructive. But if you recall, when Mercury moved on the 2nd of July, it went face to face with Pluto on the 3rd. And now we have Venus going into Leo and going face to face with Pluto on Friday. As much as there could be an opportunity to build a collaboration, work in a way where cooperation is really important, bit of give and take, and also perhaps even creating greater harmony in an existing tie, that's really exciting. But if there are any politics that have been simmering beneath the surface, Pluto could bring them into the open. But also the potentially explosive link between Mars and your modern ruler of Uranus towards the end of this week suggests if someone's not getting how you feel, and it's also perhaps even being quite provoking towards you, it may be much more difficult to keep your emotions in check. Because when Mars and Uranus get together, Mars brings a sense of impatience, but also defensiveness in the 4th house. And Uranus can, of course, be very unpredictable. And it's therefore possible that in a relationship that isn't working very well, that could be a point which causes some kind of big upset, if I'm honest. But equally, a relationship issue may not show up with Mars conjunct Uranus, and actually that combination can give you more impulse to make some changes to where you live. For example, if you have been putting up with some accommodation that really is too small, too big, not suitable, in the wrong location, Mars's energy and urgency can give you the push with Uranus's help to make that change, because Uranus is about change. But it could be that you're going to do some kind of renovation to an existing home, repainting, remodeling in some way, new furnishings, moving things around, decluttering. All of those things are possible. As the week draws to a close, however, there is a quarter moon in your sister air sign of Libra. And the 6th, 9th house energy to the Sun can see us bite off a bit more than we can chew. So if you are trying to clear things up, make refinements, move things around, don't try to take on too much. And I feel that with Mercury and Venus and Jupiter all in very strong locations, particularly once Venus gets beyond that opposition to Pluto, finding ways to meet with others in whatever context, whether it is around shared interest, around a sports team, around something that really both inspires you, that can be really very positive. But it's also a chance to bring some kind of improvement to your relationships in general. And a lot of it with Mercury and Venus in the 7th house is refining our listening skills and understanding that when people see things differently, it doesn't necessarily make them bad people, it just makes them different. I hope you have a great week. Thank you for joining me. If you've yet to subscribe, please do so now.